of Troy is a fabulous fabric from the land of the five rivers.
Years ago, when we came to Los Angeles, I really believed that the greatness of the Raiders would be in its future.
We back. Man, you already know what time it is.
Oh, you didn't know?
50-50.
Welcome to the 50-50 Show with PharoahNFL and the Severe Raider, the realest show for Raider Nation.
The perpetuation of the greatness of the Raiders to take a professional football team and give it a distinct characteristic that's different from all others.
Make sure to clock in, like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell.
Man, you already know what time it is, man. It's the 50-50 Show with my guy, the Severe Raider. Obviously, myself, PharoahNFL. Man, we got a great show lined up. Man, we got a lot to talk about. Obviously, Monday Night Football has came and gone, and the Raiders didn't come out with a victory like I was trying to predict on Sunday. I was trying to will this team to a victory, man. I was literally, I was like buying into the coaching staff. I'm buying into Ashen Genty. Felt like they were going to get that run game going, but, you know, it didn't happen. You know, hey, Chargers are a pretty good team, pretty good defense, but it is what it is, man. But we'll get into that conversation. Obviously, we'll talk about the Raiders-Chargers. Tom Brady was caught in the booth and also reportedly was part of the game plan, according to reports saying that Chip Kelly said that, you know, he'll talk to Tom Brady a few times out the week and go over the game plan. Pete Carroll shot that down, but it's an interesting report because, like, they're literally saying the source is Chip Kelly. So I don't know what's going on here, but it sounds kind of fishy. But it is what it is. We'll get into that conversation. Obviously, Ashen Genty. We have a special guest today as well. Actually, had a chance to speak with Boise State beat reporter BJ Rains to get into Ashen Genty and the type of running back he is, and obviously he hasn't kind of hit the scene as strongly as we would want him to, as far as like dominating and putting up the crazy numbers that you would want out of Ashen Genty, especially with the type of season he had in college. It's kind of been a slow start, but we get into that conversation and why that's not been happening and what we can expect from Genty moving forward. We'll get into that interview. And yeah, man, we appreciate everybody pulling up. The night crew, we see y'all, man. We appreciate everybody pulling up, man. V Bazila, he just gets straight to it, man. He not wasting any time. He says, beat the Commanders. That's it. Move on, man. That was a loss, but you got to move on at the end of the day, man. Like they got the Commanders next week, which could possibly not. There's a good chance. There's some reports. Obviously we heard about Jaden Daniels, Severe's twin brother. He's not going to be able to play next game, but we'll see. We'll pay attention to that. But if he's not good to go, it's a familiar face at quarterback, Mariota. So we'll pay attention to the reports and all that good stuff. So we'll see how that goes. But if we're playing against Mariota, then I think that the Raiders have a chance to win that game. But we'll see. We'll have a conversation about this team, where they're at. Brendan in the building, man. He says, I swear this franchise gives you a little bit of hope before ripping your heart out. Maybe next year. You see, look, Brendan, the way you got to do it now. See, me and Severe, I feel like we're on the same page on how we approach the Raiders. Yeah. Is cautiously optimistic. You know what I mean? Like we like some things, but at the end of the day, we got to see it before we believe it. So expectations are not going to be high with us. The Raiders have to show that they deserve, the appreciation and support and belief that they're going to be whatever type of team that we think they are. So, at the end of the day, like I didn't really have high expectations going into the season. So I'm not really like, oh my God, man, not again, the Raiders. Like they always do this every year. Like I'm not there. I'm really not there. And it's to be honest with you, it's like 15 games left too, by the way. So just be patient. You'll have time to do that. My 2 cents in the building, man. Appreciate you pulling up. Welcome to the L Star. Damn. Like that, man. That's crazy. Louis, appreciate you coming through. Oh man, come on, man. We got to keep it respectful, man. It's all good, man. What's going on? What's all this beef in the chat, man? It's all good. Gonna catch y'all while it's all good, man. Appreciate you coming through, sliding through, man. Yeah, watch the replay. Definitely check out the interview that we had with the beat reporter, Boise State. You don't want to miss that. So definitely, and we're gonna have a good conversation. Just go ahead and watch the replay, man. Appreciate you pulling up. But he says before he leaves, he says Thornton gonna have full days of practice just learning how to draw a flag because bruh is weak on the 50-50 ball. I don't think that's his game. Shout out to 50-50, man.
It's not.
I think he's a speed right now. His game is a couple of routes. And that's what I was trying to say, man. Like, why people don't want to hear the truth? They just want to project and put people on a pedestal, and then when they don't, be that whatever they feel like they should be, oh, they're trash. Like, I'm not even like all out on Thornton. I just think that like it's just gonna take time. Like, give it time for him to develop. Like, he's obviously like he's coming from a Tennessee offense. We've talked about it before. Like, they didn't run like a crazy route tree, but obviously the Raiders liked him. They liked the attributes, the qualities that he brings as a receiver. He got that speed, that size. But he can block. So I'm sure in their mind, they're like, hey, at least we can get him on the field. We can make it work. But what happens is there's a thin, I feel like there's a thin line. Meaning that if Brock Bowers or Myers go out, you see that puts a lot more pressure on a guy like Thornton. And at the end of the day, he's not going to have that ability to get open like a Myers or get open like a Bowers at will. Like that's just not where he's at.
Yeah. No, facts. Yeah, he's a 4th round pick. He was a 4th round pick for a reason. Like, so he's like,
right.
Like, I know we loved him, and we put, Raider fans, like, they do what fan bases do, and they like, oh my God, this guy, he's Randy Moss, he's Calvin Johnson. Like, man, only 3 people ran this. That's when they gotta be. That's why they gotta start doing this stuff. Only 3 people ran this fast at 6'5" and up. It's only DK and Calvin Johnson. He's this. Like, no, he's not those guys. He's a 4th round pick. He needs time to develop. So, and he's like just certain nuances of the game. You can see, like, like he doesn't understand like how to run the correct leverage sometimes, or like how running the incorrect leverage, how that could throw the play out. Like, just like he doesn't understand. I need to give my quarterback a certain amount of room on the sideline when I'm running this deep route, because you know what? If I drift even a little bit at that point, I'm an ineligible receiver because I'm coming from out of bounds, so I can't even touch the ball. That's a penalty. Like, just stuff like that. He doesn't seem to just understand. So, and that's the same thing that happened with Trey Tucker. Similar situation. Like, just those nuances he didn't get. Trey Tucker's starting to get them now. So, Dante Thornton, he's going to have to go through the same thing.
Yeah, man. And that's another thing, too, is like, man, Jack Besh. Man. Hopefully, we'll see we'll get something out of the 2nd round pick this year, because first game he played 4 snaps. He did get a catch on 3rd down. Second game, he played 5 snaps, and he, didn't get anything. Yeah, he didn't get a target. So, we'll see. As time goes on, hopefully he'll get more incorporated in the offense, and they'll find ways to get him involved and things like that. He's a young player, and I'm sure he's waiting his time. And look, it's just the opportunity at that. But it's interesting because Bowers is hurt, and another thing too. I think there was a decrease in snap percentage. I think that might have something to do with the type of formations they were in. Michael Mayer didn't play as much as he did in that first game, and I'm not sure if they ran a lot of 12 personnel, and that might have something to do with it.
Yeah.
So we didn't see a lot of Michael Mayer, which is kind of interesting because, like, Brock Bowers was clearly not 100%. It's just like that's why I gotta question everything. It's not just not one player or one. A lot of people were talking about Geno Smith, and I understand Geno Smith had played terrible, but like there are certain things about like what they were doing. I'm like, why are we trying to go deep? Like, why are we trying to push the ball downfield against a defense? They're not. They're literally trying. They want you to throw underneath. So like, why don't we find ways to get the ball underneath and then like take calculated risks to throw it to get it down the field? But respectfully, like the Chargers, respect to them, I should say, is they're a pretty good defense.
Yeah.
Shout out to Alfredo Win Lose Ty already. It's like, hey man, look, we got the best fans, bro.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, man. Hey, appreciate everybody pulling up. Salute SoCal Sal in the building. Man, we got everybody pulling up. Craig Hall in the building, man. Appreciate you pulling up. Chewy, Coach in the building. We're 1-0 when Tommy gets playing time. Coach, man, Tommy Eichenberg needs to get some PT. That's where he's at with it. Okay. Alfred, 11 attempts. That ain't Genty's fault. We'll get into that. We'll get into that conversation, man. Salute to Loon, man. Raider Allegiance in the building. Severe, man, how was the weekend, man? How was the weekend in Vegas? I know you were at the game.
Yeah, man, it was good, man. Got out there Saturday, had a little fight gathering with some members of Raider Nation, man. Watched Terrence Crawford. Handle his business. 3-time undisputed. One of the best fighters of all time. Yeah. And then went to my dog Loon, Raiders Allegiance. He's sometimes in the chat. He had a pool party on Sunday, man, with some other Raider fans. It was good. Just breaking bread with those dudes, man. Chopping it up. Loon, a funny dude, man. Had a raffle. Just gave up. Hey, it was a free event too, man. People just show up. He wasn't asking for anything, man. Had raffles. People. I won me a prize up there, man. So hey, shout out to Loon. for that, and then went to the game, man. And the game was the worst part of the weekend. The game was the worst part, man. So, but it was cool, man. It was good. It's good getting out there, man. Being at the game and seeing some things, it gives you perspective. As y'all can hear, my voice is gone because I was screaming, going crazy, arguing with people, going stupid out there. But it was a good weekend, man. It was a good weekend. It's good to chop it up with my bros, man. Hopefully next time if I go to a game again, hopefully I get the W.
There you go, man. Shout out to LS, man. He got a question for you, Severe. He said, just wondering what Severe thought of Genty live in person.
We'll get into that. We'll get into that. All right.
We'll
get into that, man.
We'll get in that conversation.
It's gonna be some people on exit stage left when I get to talk about Genty. So.
That's funny. Oh, you know what's funny? Oh, man. Guess who was on that top 10 and 11 list? We're going to get into that list in a little bit, but that list I was telling you about the pass rushers, Jihad Ward was on that list. Like, he's killing, I guess, with Tennessee.
Yeah.
Jihad Ward. Anybody know that name, man? He former second-round pick, McKenzie. It's crazy, bro. Pick, yeah. McKenzie, bro, I'm not gonna lie, man. Like, he's an underrated scout, bro. Like, at the very least, like, he's found some guys. I mean, I'm not saying he hasn't missed, but like he's had some guys that played in the league for a long time.
Yep.
Long time. That's
Mario Edwards, like he's some dude like Mario Edwards doing his thing, or Mario Edwards Jr. with the Texans.
TJ Carey had a solid career. Gabe Jackson. Yes, the D tackle that we drafted, I think he played a few years. You know, not everybody's gonna play 10 years, but Justin Ellis. You know, not everybody's gonna play 10 years. The average NFL career is like 3 years, but you know, I mean, Alex Leatherwood, when did he exit stage left?
Man, don't even bring up first round bust, man. Don't even put that in the atmosphere right now. Don't even put that in the atmosphere right now. Oh my
God, that's where we going with it. Okay, well, let's not waste any time, man. Let's get into the game, bro. Like, obviously you were at the game. I watched it obviously come from my home, and I was excited, bro. Like, look, like I said to begin the show, man, I tried to will this team, and I felt like first of all, I feel like it was a winnable game all the way to the end. So respect to the Raiders playing all the way to the end. And when I say respect to the Raiders, I'm talking about the Raiders defense. They kept that team, and that's one of the biggest surprise this season. Not gonna lie, is the Raiders defense. As much as we knock the talent that's on that side of the football, they're a well-coached team. Like it shows. They might not have like the biggest stars, and you know, as of right now, like, you know, you got some guys like Devin White that might be recognizable for some people, but he's obviously a journeyman player, and he's hopped around teams since him, you know, winning the Super Bowl with the Bucks and all that. But Jamal Adams, you know, did he win a defensive player of the year? Or he's all pro safety for sure. At some point with the Jets, and I don't know if he was all pro with Seattle, but I think at the very least he was a Pro Bowler. But still, for him to come back and contribute as a linebacker, like they're making it work on defense, and it's been the biggest surprise, the most consistent aspect of the team, and it kept them in the game, and they almost won the game, but it could have been. It was a winnable game. It was definitely a winnable game. Now, that being said, Geno Smith did not play his best game. 3 interceptions. The first one was uncalled for. Like, come on, bro. You can't start off the game. That literally, it just felt like downhill. I know that the Raiders held them to 3 points, and you know the Raiders were eventually able to tie the game up, but still, it just was a bad start. You start off with an interception. I'm not sure if you put that on. You know, obviously it's on Geno for making that mistake, but do you think that's? I'm gonna ask you this real quick. Do you think that was like a Chip Kelly call as well? Like, do you think Chip Kelly contributed to? Because you know the first few plays, aren't they like scripted?
Yeah, but I don't necessarily think it was a bad play call. I think it was a miscommunication between, because it looked like Trey Tucker sat down on his route, and I think actually Trey Tucker did the right thing where he sat down on the route, and Geno threw the ball like he was going to continue the route. But what what the Chargers were doing is they were running a lot of too high, like too high shell, but they were driving on everything. Like they were driving on everything. So like people are like, oh man, just throw it short. Okay, you try that, but they're driving on everything, like everything, because they're not worried about Dante Thornton, they're not worried about Trey Tucker, they're not worried about anybody really beating them deep. So they're driving on everything. So that's what you saw right there. So the safety started driving on the ball. Trey Tucker set the route down, and Geno, he continued to throw it like Trey Tucker was going to continue across the field. Obviously, he gets his hands on the ball, interception.
That was a good like, was it like 15 to 20 yard pass? If he completed it. It was 20. Like it was an intermediate like type of pass.
Intermediate,
like it was intermediate.
Yeah.
So I felt like they should have incorporated the short passing game a little bit. Like I felt like it just felt like they were trying to take shots every chance they can get, and the line obviously wasn't holding up. On top of that, like it felt like Geno was like pressing, like he, It just,
I think that first throw kind of set the tempo for the game, where like it just didn't feel, he just felt off the entire game. And there are plays to be made there. Like, there were guys that were open and he either didn't see it, he was late to see it, and he hesitated and didn't pull the trigger, partly because he sees, like, he starts seeing ghosts where, like, these dudes are driving on everything. So he's like, well, damn, I got to take care of the ball. I got to be careful with it. Or sometimes he just had a guy, they were open, he threw the pass and it was inaccurate. So, it's like Geno just had a rough game, man. It was just a rough game. I will say this though, like this Meredith experiment is not going well. Meredith, like if we had any other quarterback at under center, like let this be Aiden O'Connell, we would have had 5 fumbles. This dude is snapping the ball all over the place, and then he's getting his ass beat too. It's like, bro, you can't be bad at snapping, not good at communicating, and you're getting your ass whipped. Like you can't have all 3, bro. Like your job, you're supposed to be the communication guy, the smart guy, the IQ guy.
Struggled.
Like why aren't we communicating well on these stunts and getting these things passed off correctly? And then the snaps, bro, like your job is to snap the ball correctly. Like several times, like bro, and to Geno's credit, bro, he's like catching them one-handed and getting his like making it look easy. If we got a dude back there that don't got no hands or gets panicked as soon as a ball is snapped poorly, like it would look way worse. So like Jordan Meredith got to get his stuff together. Alex Kappa, like he wasn't great, and it wasn't great either. He's better than I thought, but he still wasn't good. Yeah. Glaze wasn't that good either. Parham's like penalties at the worst time. Only person that played pretty good was Colton. Everybody else played, they were average or below average.
I heard Glaze didn't play that bad.
Glaze didn't play as bad as he played last week.
Compared to like the interior offensive line, which was both guards in the center. Dylan
Glaze
Parham,
didn't play as bad as he played last week. Last week he was getting destroyed.
Dylan Parham, man, he's getting killed on on social media right now. Like as far as like there's like a play where Henley gets a sack on Geno Smith, and like Parham literally he literally sees Henley kind of like when it's one of those delay blitzes or delay rushes, but he literally sees Henley and then he just takes his eyes off him and he's not doing anything. He's just standing there. Yeah. And then Henley just obviously just rushes Geno and gets a sack. But it was just like, man, like it just adds to like the Dylan Parham experiment right now at guard, which I think Raider Nation, a lot of people are they're getting tired of. They feel like the Raiders need to upgrade, which at the end of the day, like I think he is on his last year. So if he doesn't play well this year, it's a good chance that he's not coming back. And even if he does play well, does he come back? At this point, I think they might just go their different direction. But on that play, like even on a play like that, like should Parham have seen it? Yes, but who's lined up right next to Parham? Meredith.
So what should Meredith be doing in that situation?
Probably letting him know.
Exactly. So it's like, should Parham? Okay, but like, bro, if you're the leader of the line, should you expect people to know things and recognize things? Yes, but your job is to communicate. So your job at center is like, yo, but we got one right here. We got to do, because you're making the protection calls. We got a possible blitzer right here. Be on the lookout for that. Alert. Do it. You got the job for that reason. This is the reason, because you're the smart guy. Be the smart guy, because you ain't the block guy. You ain't the snap the ball well guy. At the very least, damn, be the smart guy, the communicator guy. You ain't even that. So it's like, bro, it's just a calamity of errors up there. It's a calamity of errors up there. And who's the coach of that unit? Who's the coach of the offensive line? Who's the run game coordinator? Are they the same person?
They got the same last name. But yeah, like, so the Raiders, obviously, they went down 17-6 at halftime. Offense was all over the place. Defense, at time, they started off well, but then they gave up like a big play at the end, which some people attributed to the play call. They felt like it wasn't a good play call at that very moment, because they literally, first of all, if we want to, like, I've been complimentary about the defense first couple of weeks of the season, but the one thing that I'm really concerned about, and we've noticed in that first half of the Patriots game, and then obviously against the Chargers most of the game, has been their ability to get to quarterback. They haven't really been able to get pressure consistently. Max hasn't been Max Crosby, and no one else has really. I mean, I know Lalua had like a couple of sacks. Yeah, you know, but I'm speaking for the totality of it, and I felt like the Raiders weren't getting home. They weren't getting pressure. I felt like Herbert was comfortable back there, especially him. Dropping back and hitting that long bomb to Quiston Johnson for that touchdown. Right in the before the first half. So, and that was like the 17-6 lead. But yeah, that defensive line, and one of the lists that I was trying to get into, there's a list that, according to PFF, the top pass rushers. Let me see if I can show this, but top pass rushers as far as win rate percentage. See if I can find this here. And Max Crosby's not on that list. And guess who is on that list? You know, it's all the familiar faces, the Micah Parsons and the Trey Hendrickson and Myles Garrett, you know, but Jihad Ward is on that list and Max Crosby isn't. Jihad Ward, that's the list that I was talking about. He's right now through first 2 weeks of the season, he's, as far as pass rush win rate percentage, he's up there in the top 10. Let me see if I can pull this up. Yeah, I was like, what? Max is not in this list? But it makes sense because, you know, we haven't really seen consistent pressure, to be honest with you. Let's take a look here. Let's take a look at this list right here. All right. So I'll try my best to maneuver through this list right here. So Nick Benito is number one. Will Anderson, Joshua Uche, Myles Garrett, Trey Hendrickson, Al-Qidan, Muhammad, Alex Highsmith, who I think got hurt this weekend. Highsmith got hurt this weekend. Derek Barnett, and look who's there right here, man. Jihad Ward, Joey Bosa, that's a familiar face, and Micah Parsons. These are the guys right now that are leading the league in pass rush win rate. And I can show you the percentages here. Right here, you see the 25% of Micah Parsons. And then you got, you know, all the way up to like 30% for the guys up top right there. Nick Benito is at 33. So, you know, look, it's only been 2 games, but this kind of reflects what we've kind of seen in the first couple of games. Like, we haven't been able to get to the quarterback with our front four. I felt like even that first game, the way we were dialing up pressure was, a lot of it was blitzes. We were blitzing a lot in order to get that pressure. But when in that first half, we weren't getting home. We weren't against the Patriots. Now with the Chargers, it was like, forget about it. Like,
yeah,
we weren't getting any pressure. And you were at the game, so I'm sure you've seen it.
Oh yeah, like he all day back there, comfortable. Like very few instances of where there was pressure. Like all these Tyree breakout seasons incoming, no, it's not happening. It's not happening. He's the same person. The same person. Max, and look, Max had Trey Pipkins, dude that played guard last year. He was going against a backup. Like you have to win these matchups. Now what they were doing is they were running guys at him, kind of delaying his rush. But know what you do in those instances, okay, we gotta flip Max to the side. Let Max get Joe Alt. If you're neutralizing him, you've been neutralizing on the other side, give a speed rusher. Give a guy, if you got a former guard playing tackle, give a guy like Malcolm Kuntz the ability to rush with some speed out there. See if he has a better advantage, because Kuntz was getting handled for the most part by Joe Alt. Like there was nothing he could do with him. And we talk about how Max talked about how strong Kuntz is, but when you were giving up that much in size and height and wingspan, like it's only so much you can do. So like give him opportunity to go somewhere else. So I saw a play, it might have been like the second play of the game. They got Max dropping into coverage against Ladd McConkey. Like, come on, dog. Like, what are we doing? What are we doing here? Why is Max dropping to get in coverage against Ladd McConkey?
Yeah. Two things.
And nobody getting pressure. Thomas Booker ain't getting no pressure. Only Lualu had a few nice moves. Adam Butler, I saw one or two times he flashed. But other than that, like nobody was doing anything.
Yeah, two things need to stop with Max Crosby. The Raiders need to stop putting him in coverage. Like, I don't understand. Like, this dude's, he's our best pass rusher. Let him do what makes him great every single play that he's out there. Like, let him get after the quarterback. I don't want to see Max Crosby in coverage. Like, I don't ever look at him as the guy that, a do-it-all type of, like, nah. His forte, his skill set, what makes him great is getting after the quarterback. So let's stop that right there. Another thing, Max, great player, but come on, man. This, and we talked about this before. The 100% snap thing that he's doing, man, it got to stop, bro. Yeah. It got to stop. Like, let's start focusing on, like, keeping you fresh so you can get out there and you still can be the Max Crosby that you want to be out there, nonstop motor and everything like that. Like, the 100% snap, like, I feel like that's, I'm not saying it possibly can contribute. Maybe it's catching up to him. Maybe he's, he's getting back from a surgery and injury that he had last season. That it'd be a couple things to be going on. But I do want that to stop because he's clearly the best player on defense. Yeah. And we can't afford to lose him. If we can't afford to lose Max Crosby, then like they should be able to manage him and keep him fresh. And I don't understand why that. I'm sure that conversation that maybe at some point happened, but for whatever reason, it's not happened. And to your point, Severe, we talked about it before, and you were like, "Hey, look, yeah, we could take him out, but it's a tough situation because he can stop the run too. Yeah, you know what I mean? He's so good at stopping the run and getting after quarterback, like the impact. And hey, he was able to make a play at the end of that game, near the end of that game, like in order to get the ball back." Yeah. Big time fumble on the rookie running back Omario Hampton. Yeah. But I'm just saying, like, I would rather have Max for the entire season than to have him like get hurt or get injured, because last few years he's been getting hurt. But yeah, the coverage thing needs to stop. And then again, I just got to keep saying this, bro. Like they gotta start managing his snaps a little bit better. I rather have Max fresh. Yeah. But that's a whole different conversation. It's not just Max Crosby. That's just an example because that's the Raiders' best pass rusher, and he's not playing as good as we would want him to play, he's not getting after the quarterback as much as we would like him to get after the quarterback. But it's like a domino effect because who's the next guy up? That's getting after the quarterback. Malcolm Kuntz, is he doing much? Not really. But to be fair, it was a good offensive line that they went up against. Yeah. But I would think Max Crosby could take advantage of his matchup in Pipkins.
He should have been able to.
But he didn't, But yeah, so yeah, the Raiders defense overall looks solid. First couple weeks they've been solid. They've been the best part of that team consistently from game in, game out. It's only been 2 games, but the offense is a whole different story. Obviously Geno Smith with 3 interceptions. Could have had 4. That 4th one where, Ashen Genty kind of like It was a ball to him towards the sideline. He threw it late, and Ashen Genty
turned to DB. That's Ashen Genty's best player as a Raider. His best player was in coverage. His best player was in coverage. I mean,
that's hilarious.
That wasn't the only one. He had a few throws where it's like, so it was one of those interceptions where I think it was like a 4th down play, and he like threw it up, gave his guy a chance. I think it ended up being like essentially a punt. Which I was like, in that situation, I'd rather my quarterback do that than like check it down and not try to complete a pass, because it's 4th down, bro. Like, yeah, hey, it's just like, what are we doing here? Like, you don't give him the ball here. Hey, throw it up there, give your guy a chance. They pick it off, then if the DB was smart, he would have batted it down, but he wasn't. So, so take that chance. But yeah, there's a few throws where it's like, it was a few close calls where
like the
where
second
you can
one,
see, I can like seeing from the stand. Yeah, there was a second one, but it's like seeing from the stands, you can see like, oh, bro, do not make this throw. And he's like, I got a guy. And he's like, no. You're like, no.
Yeah.
So there's a few times where like dudes were driving, but they were driving on. They were just making us. They were in a too high shell. They were making us essentially. If we wanted to get any kind of completions, they were going to either have to be way over the top in the like double coverage, back shoulder throws, or it was have to be like something underneath. And they were driving on everything underneath.
Yeah, it's almost like he's like a gunslinger. Like he's
he definitely, yeah. He trusts his arm.
Yeah, he's super aggressive at all times, but it's at some point though, like you got to understand the flow of the game, how the game is going. You're going against a good defense, big time game. Like turnovers are huge in these types of games. Like you want to play clean football, time of possession, all that good stuff. But it is what it is. I feel like he'll get better. And at the end of the day, I feel like everybody's like, oh, man, well, our quarterback sucks at the end of the day. Like, I'm not going to go off. I'm not going to go all the way left with it as far as him as a quarterback. I think at the end of the day, I looked at, at the very least, Geno Smith will be a bridge quarterback for the Raiders. Like, he'll hold down the fort until they get their guy at the very least. Now, is there a possible chance that he can be the guy? I always left the room for that door, but right now it doesn't look like that. I'm like, oh, man.
Yeah, but that's the thing though. It's like what's crazy is that two things. Like I said in the chat, like we built a bridge. We got a bridge quarterback, but the bridge ain't going nowhere. Right? It's just a bridge over water with no destination on the other side. If we're supposed to be that guy, it's like okay, and then it's like just like I said with Genty, like you can say, "Hey man, this dude had a bad game." That doesn't mean he's trash or he's weak. Or you gotta take him out, or you gotta let's see Kenny Pickett now. Damn, let's throw in Kenny Pickett. Or I forgot the name of the other bum that we picked up. Like you get this no-name quarterback. I don't even remember the dude's name. But so it doesn't mean we mean get rid of it. It's like, man, he had a bad game. Let's get back to the drawing board. Let's see if we can find some success, because he is a guy that traditionally hasn't played well outdoors, and he had a fantastic game outdoors. Mm-hmm. He's a guy that usually plays well in the dome. He was on a struggle bus in the dome. So hey, you know what? He's had one really good game, one really bad game, kind of a wash so far. Let's see what he does going forward. Like people were quick to throw him under the bus, but there are people who ain't playing good. I ain't seen him have a single good game. And this person, they have all the excuses in the world for this person, which we will get into. But so keep that same energy. If that's the stance we're taking on people, where if they have a single bad game, then we're done with them. But or they're just weak, or that we're going to completely lower our expectations, then do that across the board. If we're not doing that with everybody, then don't do that with anybody.
I understand where you're coming from, but J Dog says the short pass opened up the deep ball too, though, and that's my thing too. I felt like they were pressing, they were trying to be too aggressive throwing the ball down the field. They probably could have set something up short, and then supplement that with the running game. I know the running game could be inconsistent because the blocking ain't there. It's just running game in general. It hasn't been consistent. But at least do a combination of the short passing game and the run game, and then you can complement that with a calculated deep shot. And I I would think that's what that, and that goes back to like the offense just being out of rhythm. Like it just seemed off. Like there was no type of flow to it. Like it just seemed kind of random. Like they're trying things out, trying to see if it works. And maybe you can attribute that to the offensive line being very inconsistent. They can't block enough for a deep throw. They can't open up a lot of holes for the running game to get going. So maybe you could say that. Or, Chip Kelly might be a guy that you got to like, hey, look, like talk about here. Because in the third quarter, the second half, we start seeing a little bit of the short game. Yeah. We start seeing the yak, the Jacoby Myers. We start seeing even a Brock Bowers who was hurt get some short passes. Now, albeit it was a long drive, eventually you're gonna have to get some chunk plays. Yeah. You're gonna have to get some chunk plays, but which they had a hard time doing is because Chargers defense they did a really good job, but it's just I felt like it was a little bit too little, too late. Like they waited way too long. It just everything seemed off on offense. Everything seemed hard. And like I said, respect to the Chargers defense, they get paid too. But I felt like the whole plan of attack just seemed off. And I'm leaving this part out because we're gonna just end it with this. Obviously, the Raiders went on to lose. They had plenty of opportunities to get back into the game. They just couldn't get it going on offense. And it is what it is. They lost 29. But one of the big stories, big talking points in the game was Ashen Genty. Ashen Genty finished with 11 carries, 43 yards. In my eyes, I felt like he had a solid game. Just looking at it, I was like a solid game in that, like, running the football. Running the football. He had a solid game running the football. There are moments where I felt like he was able to get into the second level. He was able to run over a DB. We saw that first run where he ran over a safety. There was a drive where like you start seeing like the 6-yard and the 10-yard and like, but this goes back to, this is where I got to like question Chip Kelly a little bit. Like, why do you take out a running back where he just showed you that he just did something, that you're the number 6 overall pick, the guy that you invested so much to draft that high, you take him out the game. And the first one, you can argue, well, they had him in the game. He made a mistake. There was a fumble with the handoff, and I guess, probably coaching staff penalized him for that. He was out for 4 snaps. He came back in that same series, but they never went back to him again in that series. And that was a promising run that he had a 13-yard run, ran out of safety. I'm like, oh man, this might be the Ashen Genty game. Didn't happen, right? They end up selling for a field goal. There was another drive in the second quarter where, like, okay, he was getting a few carries, getting some yards. I'm like, okay, this is like keep feeding them because right now the offense is kind of struggling moving the ball. Like everything is hard. So right now, like I'm like, hey, if Ashen Genty could get it going, this could maybe open some things up. Here comes Zamir White. Here comes Dylan Lobby. So that's where I have my big question is with the coaching staff is like you and just the Raiders in general, like you invested in this guy at that number 6 overall spot. Whether you like it or not, we can argue about that. And we talked about it. Like we could have went a different direction because we have different needs, but the Raiders went ahead and made that investment. So if you went ahead and made that investment, go ahead and see it through. Like you go ahead and make sure, do everything possible to make it work. And when a guy is getting it going, you're taking him out. I just felt like that was just, that was one of the biggest things in the game where I was like, man, like it kind of threw the offense off a little bit. And I'm not gonna lie, if we're being honest, if you draft a running back number 6 overall, I'm going to assume that the offense is going to be catered to Ashen Genty right off the bat, because running backs, they only have a certain level, a shelf life, right? So they translate really well from college to the NFL. Like it doesn't take long from them to get it going. So I'm assume that you're going to create an offense for Ashen Genty right off the bat because he's the guy that you invested that highly in the first round for, right? But it just seems like they're kind of really all in on Geno right now. They're more leaning on that pass game. And you can argue that maybe that offensive line is not where they feel more comfortable with a veteran and Geno right now to set up the run game with the pass, and Geno, they feel good about Geno as a quarterback. But man, like as each game goes on, like at some point they're going to have to make a decision like, hey, Ashen Genty's the guy that we drafted at number 6. And Brock Bowers is our best offensive receiving weapon, or our best offensive weapon. And those are 2 guys that you cater the offense to. Simple and plain. And then everybody else are complementary players. I love Jacoby Myers. He's a good possession number 2 receiver. He did some good things in that game. He's Mr. Consistent. Like him as a player, but he's not like a game-changing playmaker. He's not a downfield threat that can get down. He's the only one.
He's the only one that changed the game yesterday. Like the only one that changed the game yesterday. So
I don't even want to.
With those circumstances, he's the only one that did anything.
Right. And I don't even want to take any shots on Jacoby Myers, but I also understand like what type of player he is. Like he has a specific skill set. He's not Brock Bowers. He's not that type of guy. That's not his game. But if we talk about the other receivers, then everybody can agree with me. Like Dante Thornton, he's not there yet, and it showed because you got an injured Brock Bowers. Jacoby's doing what he can, and it's like he's not getting open. He's not finding a way to get the get open and help out his quarterback. Trey Tucker, there
are opportunities that were there that Geno didn't see Trey Tucker.
But they were like throwing it short to Trey Tucker at times. I was like, why are they throwing it? Why are you throwing it short?
Geno Smith threw a 50-50 pass to Trey Tucker.
Bro, I don't want to see Trey Tucker go over the middle. I don't want to see Trey Tucker he's too small of a guy. Like I know he's fast or whatever, but it's just I gotta hold my breath a little because he could easily get rocked. And if he fumbles, I wouldn't get mad. I'm not gonna get mad if Trey Tucker gets fumbled. He gets mad because he's not the biggest guy. Like he's not the biggest dude. So it's on the coaching staff and like the team to recognize that. And like, hey, put this guy in space, have him run deep routes. He's fast. He can run some routes. Let him do that. Just maybe get back to that or whatever. And maybe he was open down the field too as well at times, but they were able to get the ball to him because of, like I said, the offensive line. But yeah, that's my thing on Ashen Genty though, man. I just feel like you drafted a guy that high, and I just don't feel like and it's only been 2 games, but it's just they're not all in on Genty. Like you're taking him out the game, and then after the game, Pete Carroll's like, "Oh, we're breaking him in." What are you breaking him in? Yeah. Like, and to be fair, I'm gonna add this, and I'm gonna let you go. I already know you got some thoughts on this. Like, to be fair, like he needs to get his pass protection, and he needs to fix that up. I know that first game was solid. Second game, there was that stunt. It was tough though. Like Derwin James ran a pick and stunt, and then Khalil Mack comes in and gets the sack. Like that was tough. His effort on that one play where he was pass protecting, and then like I'm guessing he thought like, oh, the play was over, and then like Geno just pops out of the scrum, and then he still was just standing there like kind of like stuck, like not doing anything or whatever. But yeah, there's certain things that he needs to get better at. But like that running the football, there was enough for me to be like, hey, we should probably incorporate him in that. We probably like if there's situations where we need to run the ball, like why don't we just give him the ball? Because he's kind of shown us the most out of everybody on offense outside of Jacoby Myers. And this game, I wouldn't say too much of Brock Bowers because he was hurt, but Jacoby Myers and Genty were like the guys that like I felt like were making the most plays on offense. On a typical day, then you can say Brock Bowers and throwing Jacoby, and then you would think Genty would be in action with the running game. But yeah, I just feel like the Raiders need to commit to running the ball with Ashen Genty. And we'll talk to the beat reporter for Boise State in a little bit. But what were your thoughts on Genty, especially you being at the game, seeing him in person, and seeing what type of player he is?
So, like I said, it's always constant goalpost moving when it comes to Genty. It's like the preseason, oh, it's not enough carries. Then it's, oh, we're not running no real offense. Announced offensive line, and he didn't play well week 1. It's like, oh man, they're sitting on the run. They were only able to throw it so much because Genty he's there as a threat. And I keep having to tell people, like, the Patriots, they weren't keying in on Genty. We were able to run play action week 1 against the Patriots because the Patriots were keying on the run action from the offensive linemen. Perfect example. Very first play of the game, we do something very similar that we did last week, where we run this run action to the left, and we tried to hit Trey Tucker, but they didn't react to the offensive linemen. They were looking at Genty. It's like, oh, bro, you got to prove to us that you're gonna be a threat this week. We ain't about to go off this action anymore because we don't believe you. We don't believe you're going to do anything to us. So we're going to stay where we're at. And then what happened? We threw an interception on that play. That's the next drive we get. Genty runs the wrong way. Like, bro, this is stuff. You're an NFL player. Like, I can't remember a time where I saw a running back run the wrong way on a handoff in the NFL. If anybody else can remember a time when that has happened, send it to me, please. I don't remember it ever happening. There's detailed stuff like this. But are you not paying attention to the play call, or do you not know the playbook? Like, stuff like this. He misses blocks in pass pro. Like in the NFL, Pharaoh, let me ask you a question, because Pharaoh, you've been watching football for a long time. In the NFL, when do you know the play is over?
When that whistle.
So why would you stop moving if you have not heard a whistle? Like, it's lazy ass stuff like this. Lazy. You're getting ragdogged in pass pro, not giving no effort. Like, you're being lazy. You're missing assignments. And then, hey, he had his best run. That first run was a good run. He runs a safety over, gets 12, 13 yards. He had another run. I went bananas. He had somebody with a crazy spin move and, got like a few extra yards. He had another play where he made like 2 or 3 people missed, got like 5 yards. But it's like, he's not what people said he was going to be. And we're going to have to start accepting that. He's not some generational. No, I watched Bijan Robinson. I watched the guy, and I don't even think Bijan Robinson is generational. I've said this in the past. I don't think Bijan Robinson is generational, but I think Bijan Robinson is a better running back prospect than Ashen Genty. And people are like, oh, come on, Severe. Come on, Severe. Like, bro, I saw him do things that I expect out of a running back that's taken in the top 10. I have yet to see Ashen Genty do these type of things with any level of consistency. I saw him make 3 people miss and get 5 yards. Like, bro, if you don't stick your foot in the ground and get north and south, but he doesn't have that. He has some quickness, but he doesn't have explosiveness. It's not there.
Well, you sent me something from Bijan. That was like a 5-yard run, but it was an impressive 5-yard run where he was making guys miss. And sometimes running backs can do that.
Yeah, but that's a play that Ashen Genty wouldn't have been able to do that.
Right, but that's not his game. That's not his game.
Exactly, but I sent you that because, like, that's special movement ability. Like, I don't expect Ashen Genty to, because they have different games. So I don't expect Ashen Genty to do stuff like. But I expect a running back taking in the top things to consistently do special things. And he's not. I haven't seen him do a single special thing. I've seen him make a nice move. Look, oh, that was good. Like that spin move, that's a nice move. That was a fantastic move. But that's like, that's not a special move where it's like, oh my God, ain't nobody in the league doing nothing like that. Like, it was a good move. I saw him run over a guy. Like, okay, that was hey, good run right there. But bro, you ain't doing nothing special. And you said it yourself. Running backs are supposed to immediately translate. Immediately, that's like the most transferable position is supposed to be running back. Well, damn. If you're not the guy, and that's the reason I said it before we drafted him. You don't fix bad running games by taking another running back. You either fix the scheme or you fix the line. So, hey, we thought we had the scheme, but apparently we didn't think we had the line because there were rumors that we were going to take Membo or Banks. And the fan base some of the fan base was, they understood that. But if you're going to take this guy, he better be damn special. And he ain't shown it. And another thing I said preseason, this before he even took Ashen Genty, because I was talking about his pass pro. I was like, Mark my words. Hear me loud and clear. If Ashen Genty does not pass protect, he will not play. And people are, oh man, you ain't gonna take him in the first round and not play him because he can't pass protect. And what happened? They yanked his ass out because he can't pass protect. So and it wasn't a spur of the moment thing. They had already been working Dylan Lobby all week on third downs because of whatever they saw week one. Apparently they didn't think he did a good enough job week one because this was part of the plan where like, yo, we feel we need to have somebody in there that's better at pass protection than Ashen Genty. So this was already part of the plan. And then he gets in there and he does terribly. So they yank his ass. It's like, bro, you got to be better than this. And is it 100% his fault? No, not 100% his fault. We have to do a better job blocking the front. We have to do a better job of getting to the second level and providing him some opportunities. But bro, you're supposed to be special. You have to be able to create your own opportunities. So if everything around you is not perfect, you have to do something better. You can't. I expect my starting running back to make one guy miss. If you get a one-on-one, make one guy miss. That's your job at all times. Make at least one guy miss. If you're special,
but he has been making.
No, he hasn't, bro. He hasn't made into a last game. He only made one guy.
Bro.
This is the first game I see somebody miss. The first game.
I believe there's a stat right here. I think he's like top 10 in missed tackles and forced missed tackles. Let me pull this up here.
Look. And all that depends on what they consider a missed tackle.
What it is that it's happening behind the line of scrimmage a lot. A lot of the stats are showing.
I've watched every single snap. I sent you plays where he's not making guys miss. He's missing reads. He's missing holes.
Look. When we're talking about the first game, we acknowledged that we acknowledged that the offensive line was not good, and we also acknowledged that Genty wasn't good as well. He missed.
Nobody. We acknowledge that. The fan base ain't acknowledge that. The fan base ain't.
Like you said,
certain segments, like a handful of fans.
Yeah,
a handful of people.
But you know what's funny? You know what's funny though? Like we acknowledged it. The coaches, Pete Carroll acknowledged it. Chip Kelly acknowledged it. Ashen Genty acknowledged it. This all happened last week. They all acknowledged that. Yeah, I need to play better. He needs to play better. He needs to make better reads, whatever the case may be. He needs to stay more patient. That's what, like Pete Carroll said, he needs to be a little more patient. But after this game, Pete Carroll was like, yeah, he did some good things. Like he was a lot more complimentary, and
way better.
I think
he was way better this game.
Yeah, it's like and the thing is too, this game I felt like he needed to get more carries. And another thing too is, and to your point, we talked about this before. How teams will talk about getting running backs involved in the pass game, but they never follow through on it. What did we hear all offseason with Genty and how he needs to get involved in the pass game? That hasn't happened yet. But the reason why is because he's probably back there trying to either pass protect, chip and help the offensive line. Like a lot of that has something to do with that. And it's also on Chip Kelly too. Like they need to make it a point to get him the ball.
But the point is that you only have this is not college anymore. You don't get as many snaps in the NFL as you do in college. There's a finite amount of snaps. You have to make an impact immediately with the snaps you get, a consistent impact. And if you aren't consistently making an impact, then we can't just keep pounding you, in the run game if we're not making headway. Now, is that all his fault that we're not making headway? No. But part of it is his fault. We can't give you, if you're not performing like we need you to perform in the pass game and practice throughout the week, then we're not going to give you opportunities in the game. Dylan Lobby came in and immediately made an impact in the pass game. His first catch, he made an impact. So it's not like it's not in the playbook or not in the game plan, or Geno doesn't want to do it, or Chip doesn't want to call it. But bro, you have to show me that if I play and give you opportunity, you're going to do something with it. And apparently they don't trust him. And this is what we've been hearing. They don't trust him to do those things. So it's right now it's not looking like this. Whatever we thought we were going to do offensively with him, we need to change our game plan because it's not working. So we have to find another way to utilize him to get the maximum effectiveness out of him.
Definitely. And I think it's the second game of the season, but I just think that the Raiders need to like understand, like, yeah, Geno's cool and all, but like you just invested the number 6 overall pick for a generational running back, a running back at number 6. So I would think that you would try everything in your power to create an offense for him to be. But it just seems like they're just like slowly, like what did Pete Carroll say after the game? Oh, we're breaking them in. And it's just, I don't know. I don't know what the plan is. Maybe there's a bigger plan that I'm not seeing. But going back to what I said earlier about the missed tackles.
Thomas, I don't want to cut you off, but
yeah,
I want to put a pin on that right there.
All right, go ahead.
If you are drafting a running back at 6, he is a generational talent. He is supposed to transform your running game. He is supposed to be this top flight player. Is anybody in an organization saying the words, "Oh, we got to break him in"? We got to break him in. Is that a word you're going to hear? If he's showing you the things that you want to see as a player, are your words going to be, "Oh, we're breaking him"? Or we like know what this sounds like? It sounds like, well, like a girl don't want to put out, "Oh, I want to get to know you. We got to take things slow." Like, nah, bro, you're being finessed. You're being finessed, brother. Like, that's what it is. The Raiders, the coaching staff is finessing y'all. They finessing y'all. Because they not seeing what they want to see. Because if they saw what they wanted to see, it wouldn't be a break-in situation. Did we break in Brock Bowers? No. Brock Bowers, I had 2 questions about Brock Bowers. Can Brock Bowers run routes? And can he be a guy that make contested catches? I saw him do both those in week 1. I'm like, well, damn. I didn't see him do this shit at Georgia. But he immediately, his first game in the NFL, he did it. So I was like, fuck it. Apparently he can do it. Right. Apparently he can do it. Because week 1, he did it with Gardner Minshew at quarterback. So I don't want to hear these excuses about, oh, we got to wait. And, I want to get to know you. And my last guy, he just left me. Like, no, I don't want to hear none of that. Hey, go, is we effing or not? Is we effing or not? If we not, peace.
Hey, real quick, man. Hey, I got to acknowledge the super chat. My guy, LS, man. Appreciate you, my guy. He says, I know it's only week 2, but how many other teams only made 2 players, had 2 players out there from their entire 2025 draft class? I was concerned after the draft, and I'm even more concerned now. 0 production. So you're talking about Besh and Thornton, Besh, Genty. Like I said, Genty didn't look bad. I thought he played solid. I just felt like he needed to get more touches. This is how I felt. You know what I mean about Genty overall. But yeah, like it's he's not perfect though. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like the pass protection needs to get better. That's just it has to, bro. Like if he wants to be on the field, if he wants to get as much touches as he wants in the NFL, they're gonna have to trust you to be able to protect the quarterback in pass protection. And Jack Besh, like I said before earlier, he had 4 snaps first game, 5 snaps second game. So I guess 1 snap, this improvement. He played 1 more snap last game.
No target.
And then Thornton had a 20-yard catch though. He did have a 20-yard catch.
Like the first game, but the Raiders were telling on themselves.
No, the second game.
It
was like
no, I thought you meant Bash. Bash had the 1 target. The first game.
He did.
This last game. Now, but the Raiders are telling on themselves, and you've been saying it the whole time. I've been saying it the whole time. Like 2026. That's the year. So maybe it's a situation where, you know what, they feel it's going to be a wash with Genty, because generally in the NFL, I have to look up if this is the same circumstances from college to pros. But generally in the NFL, if a guy has as many carries as Ashen Genty had last year in college, in the pros, and they take that many hits, they're not good that next year, or they get injured that next year. So maybe the Raiders really are breaking them in. Maybe they got Genty in some bubble wrap, and they only gonna, hey, you know what? Hey, we don't want them to do too much, because this ain't the year for it. Next year's the year for it. We drafted Jack Besh, understanding he ain't about to do a damn thing this year, because he's not an outside receiver. he's a slot receiver, and we're not going to pay Jacoby, but Jack Bech going to cook next year. Maybe that's what they're saying because they sold y'all a bill of goods. They told y'all, all I do is win 10 games. I've been winning 10 games for 25 years. That's what he told y'all. You know, he got fired in Seattle because he didn't win 10 games. So, but he told y'all we've been winning 10 games every year for 25 years, and y'all was like, we about to win 10. But this was never the plan. And we thought maybe because Pete Carroll owed that, hey, you know what, he want to win immediately, but maybe he understood this ain't the year for it. We're gonna do what we can this year, make the necessary progress, but 2026 is gonna be the year because that's how they seem to be treating it. That's how they seem to be treating it with drafting this running back when the offensive line ain't together. You still shuffling centers and right guards and all this nonsense. Drafting Jack Bech when you still have Jacoby Myers, knowing damn well Jack Bech ain't no outside receiver. Like you're drafting Darian Porter, understanding damn well that hey, this guy only played 1 year of collegiate corner. I ain't seen him play a damn snap on defense. Not a mother effing snap. Yeah, and if 2026 was a year, know who I feel the worst for? Know who I feel the absolute worst for? Touchdown Tommy, bro. You did touchdown Tommy dirty.
Hey, man. Hey, once again, LS, man, appreciate you supporting the show with the super chat. So, hey, like I said earlier, man, I was able to sit down with Boise State beat reporter to talk about Genty and you know his impact with the Raiders. And yeah, man, it was a cool little conversation. So let me go ahead and get to it, man. We got a special guest. We got BJ Rains, Boise State beat reporter in the building. Man, obviously he is well aware of what's going on with Ashen Genty, so we got plenty to talk about today. BJ, how's it going, man?
It's going great, man. Appreciate you having me on.
Yeah, man, no, not a problem, man. Appreciate you coming on, and we're gonna have a really good conversation. Let's start with Boise State, man. How's Boise State looking without Ashen Genty there this year?
Well, I wish they still had him, that's for sure. But yeah, I mean they're doing all right. They got a couple other good running backs, and they're running the game. They still ran for over 300 yards in their last game. So you know they've put a lot of good running backs in the NFL. A lot of people just think about Genty, but you still got Jeremy McNichols up there with the Commanders, and Alexander Madison just got hurt down there with the Dolphins, and they've had Jay Ajayi and Doug Martin and a number of good backs. So actually, obviously, you know, he's the most high-profile one right now, but they feel like they got another stable behind him and some other guys that are hoping to follow in his footsteps someday down the road. And they're 1-1, getting ready to play Air Force on Saturday. But obviously, a lot of eyes here in Boise following what he's doing down there in Vegas for sure.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, like, is Ashton like probably the best in your opinion, or one of the, like I know he's one of the best, but like, would you say he is the best to ever come out of Boise?
Oh, I mean, he's got to be. He's only the second finalist they've ever had for the Heisman. I mean, Kellen Moore, obviously the head coach of the Saints, is, you know, probably had that, you know, in terms of just what he did at the college level. If you want to talk NFL level, there's certainly a debate you could have there. But certainly what he's doing, you know, coming out, number 6 pick, you know, highest pick they've ever had in the draft, highest, you know, Heisman finalist they've ever had. I mean, yeah, certainly what he did in college and coming into the NFL, he obviously is at the highest. And I forgot to mention George Halani, running back for the Seahawks. He scored that touchdown when the Steelers forgot to pick the ball up in the end zone the other day. That was his first career touchdown, and he played with Ashton for a year 2 years ago. So yeah, he's certainly up there, but he's obviously got to, you know, now he's you know, he did it in college. Now he's got to keep doing it here at the NFL.
Yeah, I mean, so far he hasn't been as prolific compared to 2024 so far in this young NFL season. I mean, he rushed his career at Boise State over 4,000 rushing yards, including 2,600 last season. Like, what are you seeing from Ashen Genty so far this season?
Well, I mean, I think you're obviously seeing like some of the spin moves and some of the individual runs and barreling guys over, and you can certainly see that he's something special and that it's going to translate, but he's not getting much help right now from the offensive line. I don't think he's getting a lot of help from the play calling, from the usage of when he's been in and out of the game. You know, you can obviously see when he's getting a chance and he gets lathered up and gets rolling, he can get some runs going, but it's obviously been a tough go for him. You know, only 13 carries, I think, against the Chargers last night, or 13 touches. That's not what he's used to, man. He needs that ball 20 plus times. And so he was really close to breaking it. I mean, I think he's doing fine. It was cool to see him get in the end zone the other day. I laugh at the people already calling him a bust and stuff through 2 games. But if they can find some better ways to utilize him, get him in space a little more, and if they can shore up some of these offensive line issues, I mean, it's clear that he's got the moves and the power and the physicality and the spin moves and stuff to have success. He just needs a little bit of help.
Nah, definitely. I mean, offensive line was a big question going into the season. I felt like the Raiders, being that they didn't make any upgrades over the offseason, they probably made a big bet on coaching, which so far, it hasn't come together yet. But my co-host, Severe Raider, we talk about Genty all the time, and he's had questions about how he can translate into the NFL. Do you see him being a back that has that ability to create big plays and to take that ball to the house, so to speak? Because that's something that if you're taking in a top 10, at number 6. Some people will say like you would want a back to have that ability if you're going to take him that high. Is that Genty? Is that his game? Or does he have that ability in his toolkit, so to speak?
Yeah, no, I mean, he definitely has that home run ability. I thought he had a couple, was one tackle away, one move away from busting some really home run, long runs in the game against the Chargers. He's just a guy that you need to keep feeding him the ball. I mean, he had a lot of times at Boise where he'd go, 2 carries, then 2 yards, then 3 yards, then 4 yards, then 1 yard, then 75 yards. Like, he's one of those guys that he is going to pop and he is going to find the hole, but you just got to stick with it and keep giving him the rock. And so I just think that some of the ways they're using him, I think he'd be better in space as well. But once he gets past that first level, we've seen it. I mean, he's already lowering his shoulder and barreling guys over. He has the ability. I mean, some of these runs he had last night, these should be, negative yards or 2-3 yard gains, and he still turned them into 10, 11, 12 yards. So once he actually gets through that first line and then he's making that guy miss, there's no reason why he's very close, I think, to breaking them. And I still think, like I said, that he's in a I've seen enough to see that his skill set is obviously going to translate. He just, like I said, needs a little bit of help. I don't think, running, I think I saw a stat today where literally he's averaging of the 54 running backs with at least 10 carries. He's been hit, closest to the line of scrimmage more than any other back in the country. And I think he's averaging getting hit literally behind the line of scrimmage on average. And so that's just ridiculous. But I also saw that he's top 10 in missed tackles for running backs as well, or creating missed tackles. So he's doing what he can with not much help at all right now. And if they can just allow him to get past that first line and not get hit in the backfield, before he even is trying to make a move, I think that he's still in a pretty decent spot, I think, to break one. And he had a couple that were really close last night. I think he is close, and I just definitely caution people not to give up on Ashen Genty this early.
Yeah, it was kind of frustrating to watch because, he was getting taken out after every good run, it felt like. He had a good run, and then there earlier in the game, you could probably blame it on to where he made a mistake in not pass protection. I think it was going to be a run play. Yeah. He made a mistake there, and then they kind of took it. They took him out the game, and he sat for 4 snaps, but when he came back, they never really went back to him in that same drive. So it's just like you pick a guy at number 6, but you treat him like he's a guy that's a part of the rotation when he's really one of the best players on the team. You would think.
Yeah, go back and look at his workload. And they kept saying on the broadcast, they're trying to save him for a 17-game season and all this. That's not who Ashen Genty is. When you drafted him number 6, you drafted a guy that's, literally had a hyperextended elbow or whatever, and actually happened in the UNLV game last year, and just put on a brace, missed a couple plays, went back out there and continued to battle. This ain't a guy that's going to miss time. This ain't a guy that's going to back down from physicality. And the more carries, the more action, the better he is and the better he feels. So he's not a guy that you only want to give the ball to. I think it was 13 touches in that game. He had games where he had 13 touches on the first 2 drives, when he was at Boise. So I just, 3rd and 2, you didn't draft him number 6 for 3rd and 2 to be on the sidelines watching whoever the other guy dude was White running the ball on 3rd and 2, and even he had trouble. There was a couple in the back where he got hit in the backfield, he had no chance either. So I'm not even saying Ashen Genty would have turned some of those plays positive. He may not have, given the struggles of the O-line. But I just think on 3rd and 2, like, he needs to be out there more. I didn't understand the first play of the game. He gets to 13 yards, like I said. Then he goes out, doesn't come back in. Yes, you're right. He did run the wrong way, it looked like, on a handoff. And it looked like they kind of punished him for the rest of the drive there. And I think it was a 10-play drive, and that was the only carry that he had. They brought him back in, I think, on the next drive or 2 drives later, and he had like back-to-back 10-yard runs or 9 10-yard runs. He was just getting going, and that's kind of when he gets in his rhythm. And you got to just keep feeding him. And they immediately took him to the bench, and I don't think he came back in the rest of that drive either. So, I'm not saying Chip Kelly doesn't know what he's doing. I'm not saying Pete Carroll, they'll know more about football than I'll ever know. And so, but I do find it a little interesting just the way he's being used right now. And they're learning about him. He's learning about the NFL. I get it. It's not all one thing. But I would have liked to have seen him play a little more. I know once they got down, they had to pass the ball more and stuff like that. But I'm not sure a recipe for success is Geno Smith throwing the ball 43 times, Ashen Genty only getting 11 carries. And they tried to give it to him in space a few times. There was a weird kind of tight end screen thing where they threw it to him, and then the guy missed the block and he got hit in the backfield. There was another time they threw it to him where it felt like it was just kind of a last, I don't want to get sacked, so I'll just throw it even if we lose yards, from Geno, and threw it to him in a bad spot. But go back and look at his film from 2 years ago in college, man. In the screen game, he was unstoppable. I mean, he had like 500 receiving yards or something, like 50 catches or something 2 years ago. They didn't do that as much last year because they had a new offensive coordinator. But if you actually just design some pass plays for him and get him in space, or have him run more outside on some of the sweeps, or however, pitches, or however you want to get it to him, where he has a little bit of time to just get going before he gets hit. He's just a really, really, really dynamic player. So I hope they can. I know it's early and it's 2 games, but man, I know I was going off on Twitter a little last night, but I just a little worried for him. I just hope that this is a situation that was 2 games and it's not something where this is how he's going to be used all season.
No, I agree 100%. I thought it was interesting how they used him. I mean, the first couple of, you probably say the first couple of games, it was they kind of went away from him, and then he finished with 19 carries the first game, but a lot of it came at the end where they're trying to run out the clock, and it was kind of obvious that they're running the ball, and then obviously you combine that with the Raiders' offensive line, but he didn't really play his best game, and he also admitted that as well as the coaching staff. But I felt like this game, you seen an improvement, and it was kind of surprising that they didn't continue to give him the rock. Now you mentioned that he has that ability to affect the passing game as well. All offseason, Raider offseason, we've been hearing all through training camp from the reports that were coming out, like the Raiders are splitting Genty out a lot. Oh man, Genty's gonna be a factor in the passing game. For whatever reason, the Raiders have gone away from that. Is that a strength of Genty, or I know you kind of spoke about it a little bit, but is it something that they can really rely on, especially with the Raider offense right now, where there's not really a lot of weapons outside of Bowers and Myers, and everybody else is kind of it kind of fluctuates, especially with an injured Brock Bowers. We need guys that can create plays.
Yeah, I would say, like I said, if they just throw it to him when there's a guy right on him because Geno's about to get sacked and he puts him in a bad spot behind the line of scrimmage, that, not necessarily his forte, but if they get some screen passes and get him in space a little bit, I certainly think that's something that he could have some success in. I mean, I just looked it up, 2023, 43 receptions, 569 yards, average over 13 yards a catch. That season, and had 5 receiving touchdowns, 2 years ago as a junior. And then with a different offensive coordinator, they changed the offense around a little bit, and he was used, more just in a traditional sense, but did still have 23 catches, last year. So you're talking 80 college catches in 3 years. I certainly think that's something they could have done more to utilize. He was actually a wide receiver in high school, I think, one of the years, because he had another running back that was going D1, and so he did a lot of it was either his junior or senior year of high school. He played mostly kind of slot receiver, I think, in high school. So he's got some good traits at receiver and can do that. And just anything in space, just get him outside the tackle box a little bit. I just thought that his kind of specialty is just once he gets going and can make you miss. And you saw one-on-one, that guy he had the spin move on, and then still got another 4 or 5 yards, made another guy miss. I mean, that's what he can do. And so he can run between the tackles. He certainly did that a lot at Boise State, but he's obviously, like I said, he's got to be able to just kind of have some sort of hole to get through that first wave. I mean, I know the overall stats aren't pretty. You put the stats together, the negative and the positive. Like, he's actually doing a lot with a little. And I mean, like I said, he's on average getting hit before he even gets to the line of scrimmage. You throw in some of the missed tackles and stuff. I mean, some of these even like 6-7 yard runs that maybe don't look super impressive. When he's getting hit behind the backfield or having to break 3 tackles just to get 6 yards, it actually is pretty impressive he's had. So I think he's a tremendous player. I think he's obviously got the talent. The one run I think that he had where he literally just lowered his shoulder and barreled the guy over, like, you know, all the stuff he did in college. You hear, oh, he's a Mountain West player. You know, how's it going to translate? You know, I think he's already shown in 2 games, like, he's got no problem juking NFL players, you know, stiff-arming NFL players. His moves work. He just has to have a chance to be able to do that. And so I'm hoping they figure out some of these O-line issues, because for me, the big thing for him is just getting through that first level. If he can get through that first level and start to get his speed going and start to get, you know, like I said, with a little bit of space, he is almost you know, impossible to tackle at that point. So curious to see moving forward how it is. But like I said, the big thing for me is just keep him on the field. Like, he does not, you know, 2 plays and then right to the bench, then back in. Like, I know the NFL's moving towards more of this. You know, it has the last several years, kind of the running back by committee and all this. But and I get it. He's your rookie. You want to be careful with him. But just with the shelf life of running backs, and if anyone watched Ashen Genty last year, that's just not who he is. He's not a guy that wants to run the ball once or twice and then come out. He's a guy that wants 8 carries on one drive. Like, he's a guy that you just want to feed the ball to. And so I thought they were in way too many 3rd and longs yesterday and 2nd and longs. And I think they need to establish the run more on 1st down with him and give him chances on 1st and 2nd down. And, you know, if you give him 3 carries, there's not going to be too many times where he doesn't get the 10 yards and move the chains if he gets 3 chances. So I think they need to just continue to feed him and keep him on the field a little bit more. I mean, did you may know better? I mean, did the other running back like actually get more snaps than him, or it was pretty close to 50-50, I think, which is crazy to me.
So the snap count was about, I think Genty ended up getting like 56 snaps in the game, like around 50 something snaps. And then I believe Zamir White was the next highest, was about 30 snaps.
All right. It felt a little, and I think it must have been because a lot of those Genty was in there, you know, when they were passing, but it felt like felt closer than that. And I will say this, I know there was a couple plays on social media, his pass blocking, there was a couple plays people wanted to criticize. And I know he owned it after the game, said he needs to be better with the pass blocking, but that wasn't a problem at Boise. Like, he's a pretty good pass blocker as well. And so I wouldn't think that's some huge problem moving forward. Obviously, we'll see it. There's bigger pass rushers and things in the NFL. I understand that. But he was a pretty good pass blocker at Boise State too. And so I wouldn't be super worried about that. I know there were a couple plays where his effort maybe wasn't where it needed to be, and maybe that had something to do with how they utilized him in the running game and stuff. I don't know. But he's always a guy that has you've never had to question his effort or grit or desire or any of that stuff. And so I wouldn't think that's going to be anything that's going to be a long-term problem here.
Yeah, it's one of the reasons why they took him that high on top of his talent was his character. But that being said, one of the interesting things that you mentioned, like the big key things is the offensive line being an issue, and also the usage, how they are using him. You know, he's a bell cow type of running back. He's not a guy where he's a committee type of running back where you take him out and then put him back in, and then you expect him to be as effective or as good as you want him to be. That's going to be interesting moving forward with Chip Kelly, especially because Chip Kelly's coming from Ohio State, where he did have a couple of running backs. You know, he had the Judkins, he had the Hendersons, but you know, with this current Raiders team, it's to be honest with you, it's Genty and everybody else. So I don't know. There might be a little disconnect there, or is he getting a rookie treatment? We don't know. I like, this is going to be one of those things that we're going to figure out as time goes on. But BJ, I appreciate you coming on, especially you know, with everything you got going on with Boise State. Hopefully they get the W this week. We'll see how that goes. Any last thoughts before we head out?
No, I think Ashen Genty's a special talent, and I think that anyone that's given up on him, I know it's a very few minority, but I have seen people up there already on social media calling him a bust, whatever. This is why you don't take a running back this high. Like, give it time, and I think if you're honest about it, he's already done more than most running backs would with the situations he's been given with some of these carries. And I think over time, over the course of the season, if he can stay healthy and they continue to use him and feed him, I think you're going to be very happy with Ashen Genty here as the season goes on.
Yeah, and I think the biggest thing the biggest thing is they're questioning his long speed. I think that's like the biggest thing that, you know, like I said earlier, me and my coach, we always talk about, like, does he have that long speed to take it all the way? Is he that type of running back that can take it?
When has he had a chance to show that yet?
Yeah. That's true. It's true.
You get him by that first level, you get him in space. There ain't too many guys catching him. I'll just tell you that. Let him. He hasn't had a chance to really show that speed yet. It's not like guys are catching him from behind right now. He's getting hit in the backfield or having to make, 3 guys miss on a 6-yard gain. Get him out in some space. Give him a chance to get to that speed. And I think a lot of people will be pleasantly surprised with what they see.
All right, man. You heard it here from BJ Rains, Boise State beat reporter. Where can they find you?
BroncoNationNews.com is our website, YouTube channel, Bronco Nation News. And, we still talk Ashton almost every day because people in here in Boise are loving him, and we follow him, and we certainly will continue to follow him throughout the year. But, I'm on Twitter, as you got there on the screen, at BJ Rains, and then we're at Bronco Nation News on YouTube and the web.
All right, man. For everybody watching, just keep watching. Show will continue, man. Appreciate it, BJ. Thank you.
No problem, man. Anytime. Thanks.
All right. We back.
Welcome to the 50-50 show.
Man, good interview, man. Appreciate BJ coming through with everything he has going on, and he was with his busy schedule, was able to come talk to us about Ashen Genty. Obviously, he feels really strongly about Ashen Genty, the player, the prospect. He feels like he is going to be a fantastic player in the NFL. He just needs to get the right opportunity, right situation. We'll see, man. It's the second game of the season. Look, when you take a running back number 6, like, that's just comes with the territory. People are going to be questioning. We want to see, was it worth it to get Ashen Genty? So there's 15 games left. Hopefully, after this, we'll see a new and improved Ashen Genty. To a certain extent, I felt like Genty played better than that first game. But I think he probably took a step back in pass protection. But to speak to your point, look, maybe the Raiders seen something completely different than what we see, But it is what it is. I know. Shout out to Machiavelli. He was in the chat, man. Salute to him. He said he did a breakdown today, and he said it didn't really look too good. So that's gonna be. I gotta check that out, man. Machiavelli, man. Salute to my guy, man. If you haven't already, make sure to go ahead and go over his channel and subscribe to Machiavelli. Yeah, man. I got to check it out, man. Definitely got to check it out. Let's see here. Well, the organization has to prove it to they're the ones who drafted him at 6. Man, I'm gonna keep it PG, man. I'm gonna keep it, old school, man. Yeah, man. Hey, look, he obviously is pro Genty. He's pro Genty. He made some good points there. There's some points where you could be like, gave you something to think about. He did mention that Ashen Genty is the type of running back that you got to keep feeding. He's like a workhorse back. He's not a guy that you just give him a couple carries here and you go away from him. You got to keep giving him the rock, so to speak, and then from there, he'll heat up and we'll see big plays. But we'll see moving forward how the Raiders handle it. But let's not waste any time. Let's move it along, man. We got flag on the play. You already know what time it is.
Personal foul, 69, offense. He was giving them the business.
So this week on Flag on Play, Severe, what we got, man?
This week on Flag on the Play, there was a certain offensive lineman that he had a series of unfortunate events, to say the least. First flag's on BJ, bro. You lucky. My guy BJ, look. Hope you watching, dog. I couldn't be there. I was driving back from Vegas, but it would have been a spirited conversation to say. Conversation to say.
Yeah, I know Severe. He was gonna push back on some stuff, but no, appreciate BJ coming through.
Not facts.
But that first flag, man, has to be the offensive tackle last week for the Giants, who had 4 straight penalties. And I'm not sure if this was penalized. It might have been. I think it might have been penalized, but it was just such egregious, like what he did. Let me go ahead and it's crazy. Let me go ahead and put this on here, man. All right, here we go. So this is the play. Man, he went ahead and just, you would have thought he was going to be one of the headliners for Canelo and Crawford, man. Like, he went in there swinging.
Open hand slap.
But yeah, the reason why he's flagging on play, man, he had like 4 straight penalties, and I think this is probably one of his penalties in the NFL. But it's going to be the new wave right here. Just smack him in the head until they're knocked out cold. God, man. But yeah, flag on the play, man. We had to call it like we see it, man. But yeah, man, that's the only flag. There's obviously some contenders out there. We couldn't get to all of them, man. But yeah, that's the flag for this week. We appreciate everybody pulling up. Make sure to clock in, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. We're going live on both our channels. So obviously your first time joining us, definitely subscribe to both, and definitely hit the like button, hit that notification, all that good stuff. But yeah, man, let's get to it. Let's get to notable quotables. Found this quote here, man. It was kind of funny because, you know, we always hear how like important it is to have halftime adjustments. And, you know, Peyton Manning and Eli Manning, they do that like simulcast of like the Monday Night Football game where they're commentating, which is cool. And they'll sometimes, you know, they'll say some funny things. And one of the things they went ahead and said, let me set this up real quick. They talked about halftime adjustments. 1 second here. Let me set it up, Severe. If you hold down the chat, can you put out, let me see. Let me pull up the next comment here.
Yes,
Coach says Parham can learn from his Dory's thing. Lesson from, damn, Coach.
Yeah, hey man. Yeah, Parham was it was a struggle for Parham. It was funny.
Yeah.
I don't know what play he was talking about because I know he's talking about like some guy that missed a block on a screen pass. Like Ashen Genty missed it.
He's talking about that. The play that I was talking about where Henley ended up getting that sack on Geno, but it was because like Parham was standing there not doing nothing, like, and Henley just went ahead and blitzed it. I'll find that clip, or I can send it to you, man.
Yeah,
it's like
I gotta see that.
It's hilarious, but 1 second here, man. Thought I had it here. But yeah, man, if you haven't already, make sure to clock in, hit that like button, hit that subscribe, and hit that notification bell.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate everybody pulling up.
Yeah, for sure, man. Appreciate everybody putting up, showing love in the chat. Everybody, if you haven't done so, make sure y'all hit up both channels. Hit those like buttons.
Yeah, Daniel King, he says he was blocking air. Definitely blocking air for sure. But here goes the clip with Peyton Manning and Eli Manning talking about halftime adjustments. Here we go.
Coming out of halftime, all those halftime adjustments, it really paid off right there. That I don't know about you, I don't think I ever made a halftime adjustment in my entire 18-year career. I think it's the biggest myth in football, the halftime adjustments, right? You go in, you use the restroom, you eat a couple of oranges, and then the head coach says, all right, let's go.
When you're in there for like...
That's hilarious, bro.
3 minutes.
Yeah, there's no time.
Yeah, man. Hey, that's hilarious, man. I'm glad he was able to say it because we always talk about like how adjustments need to be made at halftime and like that, but he just kept it real. He was like, hey, there's really no halftime adjustment. It's not really too much time to do it. But that's from the great Peyton Manning, man. So he would know, the guy that literally prepares for everything, the pre-snap king, like the guy, like he would know. He definitely would know. He said he was coaching. Who you talking about?
Peyton. He's talking about Peyton.
No, he wasn't coaching. It was like they have like that Monday, you know, like Monday Night Football simulcast where they're like literally commentating as the game is being played. I think they did it for the first game. I don't think they did it for the second game. The first game was the Tampa Bay game because it was like a Tampa Bay game versus Texans. That started like at like 5 Pacific Standard Time.
Yeah, man.
But you know that I guess that Raider game must have been a little too late for them, so they called it a night for sure. For sure.
Probably that'd have been a long time doing a simulcast too. That'd have been like a solid 6, 7 hours, something crazy like that. So they probably like, F.
Somehow teams just coincidentally improve. Yeah, maybe, Pete Carroll just like, hey, stay positive. Y'all get paid today. I don't know. Like, I thought that I personally, I did think there were some type of adjustments, but like he's coming out and saying like, hey, look, like that's a myth. That doesn't happen.
I mean, I know where Peyton is coming from, because I think the myth is like, hey, you know what? We saw what they're doing in the first half, and this is what we're going to be doing now. Like you're going to scrap everything you've been preparing for since that, usually Monday after that first game. You have your install like Thursday or Friday, and so you got all the preparation you did all week. Like, bro, we have this 10 minutes. We're going to change everything that we did all week, and this is what we're doing now. Like, no. But there are like slight adjustments where you see, okay, this guy's doing this. Okay, now we're going to attack them this way because they're doing that inside of the same game plan that you already laid out. So it's not like a wholesale change of your game plan, just like stuff around the edges. But like, I think the myth people have in their minds is like, yo, man, look, we changed everything. Like the second half, we did a whole new game plan. And that's not the case. Like, it's usually stuff on the fringes, and usually it's like so infinitesimal that like most people won't recognize it, like, unless they know what they're looking for.
Yeah, they might they might just reiterate like what the game plan is, like what we need to do. If like, especially if it's like the first half they made a lot of mistakes, they're like, the coaching staff could just be like, hey, look, or the players could just talk within the locker room like, hey, we got to do this, and then like you always see the quarterbacks go through like screenshots of the play or on the at this point it used to be screenshots, but now it's like on the iPad or whatever,
the Surface tablet,
the tablet or whatever. So they're constantly talking throughout the game, but maybe it gives the players a chance to like reset. But the only thing is that like we always question coaching staffs for not making the adjustments after halftime, because we didn't see any improvement after halftime.
Exactly.
That's the only thing. That's why it's kind of funny that he's saying that, and then like we've kind of accused coaching staff like, oh man, like these guys are terrible coaches. Like, did they not have a good plan overall to win the game, or?
That's generally what it is. Generally.
Is that what it is?
Generally, that's what it is. Like, their plan overall wasn't a good one. So
that's funny.
Like, because look, perfect example. Like Chip Kelly week 1. Like they had a plan and that plan worked, and then Chip Kelly week 2, they had a plan, the plan didn't work. Like it's only so much you can really do.
Egalitarian Jordan Meredith is just as bad as Andre James. Yeah, I mean, it's just at this point, like, I mean, JPJ we thought was gonna be the guy, but like, I don't know, man. It's just there's a lot to unpack. Like, is it the coaching staff? Is it the players?
Look, I got some insight, I meant to bring this up earlier. I got, and I don't know how true this is, because the people that are saying this, obviously they have their own biases. Yeah. Now, I know somebody that at a event for the Raiders, they talked to JPJ's parents. They are great supporters of the team. They usually go to the events if they can make it, especially if it's like a big event. They usually try to go out there and make it. A lot of times they give out merchandise for people to raffle off and stuff like that. They talked to this person I know, and they told this person that JPJ, he complained of a headache. And next thing you know, that they threw him in the protocol. Like, they threw him in the protocol. So maybe that's just like not understanding of how the process works, or not being, or like how it was relayed to them. It was relayed to them a certain way, and so they're just regurgitating how it was relayed to them. But as soon as I heard that JPJ was out and with a concussion, that it didn't seem to be suffered during the game, for them to play Alex Kappa after the comments that Pete Carroll made this offseason when they, named JPJ the starter, and he made it very clear, he went out of his way to say that it was kind of a win the job by default, only because Alex Cappa had missed so much time. It raised questions.
Yeah.
It raised questions in me where it's like, okay, well, is a situation where they're just looking to see, oh, what does Kappa look like out there, but they don't want to bench JPJ. I don't know, but it was curious circumstances, in my opinion.
That's interesting.
Because Landon Roberts would have dislocated. What?
I think they're really sensitive about that, like that concussion thing. Like if a player is saying that he has headaches, like they're automatically like, they're really strict about it. It's not like back in the day where someone says a headache, they'll just like, oh, here's Tylenol. All right, see you next. see you tomorrow. Like they're not gonna oh, I have a concussion. All right, I'll see you tomorrow. Just sleep on it. I'll talk to you later. Like that concussion thing, they take really serious. But to your point though, like the way Carroll and the coaching staff have been treating JPJ, like they've been treating him like he's battling for a roster spot. Like it's just like, it's Kappa and it's JPJ. Like it's going down to the wire. I'm like, God, going down to the wire. Like what is going on? Like do y'all think he's good? Y'all don't think, is he not good in your eyes? Like you don't think?
I don't know.
And Dylan Parham is out there doing what he's doing, and Alex Kappa is out there, and Meredith is doing what he's doing. So like, what JPJ is a lot worse. Like,
yeah, man, it was.
But Carroll did say that JPJ should be back this week. So yes,
Yes, he's like, you know what? We've seen enough of Kappa.
Exactly.
We've seen enough. Yeah,
exactly.
It was curious.
And that is concerning, TK. I'm not gonna lie. Like he does have that history. JPJ concussion history is why his draft stock fell. Some people like late in the process thought he was gonna go in the second round, and then he ended up dropping to the second, which we thought was like, Raiders got nice offensive lineman in the second round, but
we did until a certain coach got their hands on him.
It is.
We're gonna make some halftime adjustments to your game, JPJ. It's like this.
Right. Let's get to what's real, what's not. This is where we say a statement, and then you guys or we all react to it by saying if it's real or not. Severe. What is the what's real, what's not statement?
So the what's real, let me pull it up. What's real, what's not statement for this week is the Raiders have the least talented roster in the AFC West. The Raiders have the least talented roster in the AFC West. Is that real or not?
That's real. Oh, you said the least talented or the most?
The least.
Least? Yeah, that's real.
Oh, the most. We know for damn sure. Come on, we know for damn sure ain't the most.
Oh, yeah. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go with because I was thinking about it. I'm like, damn, the Chiefs look like they fell off a little bit, but they still got Mahomes. They still got a few guys on that defense. Yeah, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go the Raiders for sure.
Yeah,
that's real. That's real. And look, and that just speaks to my point. Everything is gonna go automatically. I'm gonna stay consistent. Like my expectations weren't high this season because I question the depth of this team, the talent on this team compared to the teams that they're going against. And I felt like 2020 they needed another offseason to actually even two, if you want to keep it real, for them to be like consistent contenders year in, year out. Next offseason, they can actually possibly make a jump next year to where you can be like, oh, okay, the Raiders have a chance to make the playoffs. Like this season, I wasn't saying that. But, we'll see. I kind of bought into like, the coaching staff, Geno Smith and Pete Carroll and what they've done over the years since they've been head coach QB combo. The pieces that we have on offense, Chip Kelly, but right now we're kind of going through some growing pains, and we went against a good defense. We obviously are not ready to beat the Chargers. We're not up there with the Chargers. They were in control of that game the entire game. Like there was no They were not scared of. They were talking trash too, which I hated. Like Keenan Allen was talking the most trash. He was talking the most trash, and he was a closet Raider fan. He always tried to deny, and now you're a Charger just cause. Like, right, man. Come on, bro. It is what it is. But yeah, I'm gonna say it's real. They are the least talented team.
Yeah, I gotta agree. Like interior defensive line is not great. You can't rush the passer. Our linebackers are a bunch of kind of like 1-year contracts. Our secondary, we got Caillou Blue Kelly is starting at corner. It's like I rest my case. So like that's all I have to say about that. So it's like
he made some plays though. He made some plays.
He made some plays. I think it's also his fault that play that they gave up. I think that was his fault too.
Yeah,
that long touchdown, and like if we don't give up that long touchdown, that however bad we played, that changes the complexity of the game. But the fact that we gave that up, that changed everything. So he's pretty bad. It's like our offensive line is a mess. Our running back room is a hopeful, and then Zamir White and Dylan Libe, who everybody thought was going to be cut last year. Our tight end room is good. Hey, tight end room is top notch. But then we look at our receiver core, and it's like Dante Thornton. You hope he turns into something. Trey Tucker. We hoped after week 1, hey, maybe he turned the corner. He kind of reverted back a little bit. Jacoby Myers, not a true number 1 receiver or a top tier number 1 receiver. So he's got deficiencies all over this roster. And then look at coach. And say what you want. Pete Carroll, he had some questionable stuff he did in that game. Chief him on like 1 point, there's a 4th and 1. And instead of having your defensive unit ready to go in there for a team that's, I think, in Raider territory, for them potentially to go for 4th and 1, you were forced to call a timeout when you're already down 2 scores. So you had to burn a timeout in a game where timeouts are extremely valuable, but you're supposed to be the game management, situational management guy, and you're burning timeouts because you didn't manage the situation correctly. Had this been somebody else, this would have been the number 1 one of the number 1 topics. But we ain't said shit about it. I wonder why. So it's like, bro, you got to be better than this. And where were your halftime adjustments? Come on. No, but so it's just like, like we just miss, like, I don't know, like the nepotism thing. Obviously, Brandon Carroll ain't. I don't think he's the answer there. Like I don't think we were really prepared to play. And there was one team that went out there on a mission, and they were looking to kind of take hold of the division, and they did. And there's another team that didn't look like they were ready for prime time, and it showed.
Shout out to Machiavelli, man. He says PFF's full of shit. He said the film showed otherwise. Hey, it's kind of been like an argument that's been happening over the years. Like people question PFF at times when it comes to certain stats that they show out, because sometimes people argue like it doesn't really match what they see on the film and yada yada yada. We'll see. I mean, you're gonna be doing Raider War Room tomorrow as well. So definitely check out Machiavelli. He has a breakdown, and I know the War Room does their breakdown every Wednesday. So definitely check that out. But hey man, we appreciate everybody coming through. Make sure to clock in at this point, clock out, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. Great show, Severe, man. Let the people know where they can find you, all that good stuff.
Man, you guys know what it is, man. The Severe Raider here on YouTube, IG, TikTok, Snapchat, X, everywhere. The Severe Raider. Here Tuesdays with my guy PharoahNFL. Obviously on the 50-50 show. Thursday Around the Shield, man. We got some exciting stuff coming up on Around the Shield, man. Some stuff is cooking. Stuff is cooking. Make sure y'all lock in for that. We're gonna have a good one. And then Sundays and Wednesdays, I got the War Room with Chris from Protect the Shield and 805 Raider. We didn't do it this past Sunday. Obviously, I was out there in Vegas, but we will be back tomorrow with some film, and we will look at Alex Cappa. Will be one of the people we look at. It was a mixed bag. I want to say he played well. I didn't say he played horrible. It was a mixed bag. But you'll see a little bit of it, and we did this last week. We broke down every single Ashen Genty play. We'll probably do the same this week as well, or at least every single carry. But we for sure gonna get some of them bloopers though.
Y'all not gonna forget about that for sure, man. But yeah, man, great show. Appreciate everybody pulling up. Like I said, like Severe said, definitely clock out and hit that like button, hit that subscribe, and hit that notification bell. We'll be back here next Thursday with Around the Shield. We got a few guests for y'all, especially we're gonna preview that Commanders game. We got a special guest, so make sure to tune in for that. And I feel like we got another guest coming through, right? I don't know if you were able to tap in. So yeah, we got a packed show on Thursday, so definitely check that out. And yeah, man, hopefully the Raiders get the W, man, on Sunday. It's gonna be a 10 a.m. game. I love the 10 a.m. games. We're
1-0. We're 1-0 in the Pete Carroll regime.
Bro, I don't care. This is unpopular opinion. Me being in the West Coast, anybody who's been in the West Coast, 10 a.m. games are the best. Like, you get the game out the way. So if it's a loss, you get it out the way. If it's a win, cool. You know what I mean? Like, you good, you straight. I do not like waiting till like 5 p.m., you know, like let's say if it's a Sunday night game or a Monday night game for them to lose. I literally waited until Monday night. I'm like looking forward to the game.
Monday night at 7.
Like,
Monday night at 7. Not even the normal 5 o'clock. It's Monday at 7.
Man, like it's overrated, bro. Look, LS, you don't agree with me? All right, man, it's all good, man. But yeah, I like 10 a.m. games, man.
Because LS, that's 3 in the morning on Monday for LS. I want to say that's 3 a.m. Monday for LS.
Was it 3 a.m.? Ooh,
I want to say 3 a.m. Monday. Yeah.
Oh man, yeah. You might have to record that and turn off your social media so you don't see who
is that right, LS? Yeah, like those 10 a.m. Sunday. I think it's 3 a.m. Monday, right? I think that's what it is.
Oh, yep. He said gotta wake myself up at 3 a.m. and be disappointed.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So hold up. So regularly, then I guess like okay, so 1 o'clock game would be like around 7 or something like that. Like
a little bit smooth. Yeah, around 6 a.m. So still more manageable.
You know what I mean? Like 3 hours, because usually 1 o'clock games would be like 3 hours after that. So it'd be like 6 a.m. You know what I mean? Like you wake up in the morning. Oh, okay. I can see why you like the 1 p.m. games, or even a night. Well, the night games. You probably don't like the Sunday night game. You'll be smooth during the day.
Yeah.
What? Did Joe? Nah, I'm not gonna. Let me check this real quick. That's wild.
Lying, bro.
God damn, man. Why did people be lying, bro?
You're lying, bro. Hey, but you know what? It was Pete Carroll. It was Pete Carroll's birthday yesterday. Happy 99th.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we didn't give him a birthday present.
He will be lying, bro. It's just for no reason. But we about to get up out of here, man. Any last thoughts before we head out?
Yeah, man. Like Genty showed some progress. I mean, that's the main thing. He showed some progress. He had some nice runs. He had a nice that spin move off that catch. That was great.
I feel like Thursday, you're gonna have you're gonna be like, oh man, you're gonna have a whole different opinion for sure. Because you're gonna watch the game film.
I watched the game film. There was definitely some unforced errors. Just watching the broadcast. There's some unforced errors, but it was progress. At this point, would you hope the progress was a little bit more accelerated? Yeah, but we got him now. You can't complain about. We drafted him at 6. I didn't want him at 6. Obviously, we already know this is why you don't draft running backs at 6. But now he's here. We just gotta hope he gets better, man. I just hope he gets better. Just hope he gets better, man. That's right. At this point, day by day.
Yeah, that's what we hoping, man. That's what we hoping for. But man, we appreciate everybody pulling up. We up out of here, man. Peace.
Hello? You play to win the game. You don't play to just play it.